President Trump's team is trying to deal with the fallout from comments made by his acting chief of staff that are being interpreted by many as contradicting the president's no quid pro quo position regarding Ukraine. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork has more from the White House.
There was no quid pro quo in the sense of what those folks out there would like for it to be.
It was the proverbial cleanup on aisle 5, the Trump administration in damage control mode, following comments by acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney at a briefing on Thursday. It seemed to suggest to some that the president placed as a condition for aid Ukraine's cooperation with U.S. investigations into the business dealings of the Bidens and 2016 election interference.
Certainly was part of the thing that he was worried about in corruption with that nation. And that is absolutely appropriate.
Withholding the funding.
Yeah, which ultimately then flowed.
Aware of the firestorm the remark created, the White House quickly issued a clarification. There was never any connection between the funds and the Ukrainians doing anything with the server, Mulvaney wrote. The president was asked about it today in the Roosevelt Room.
I think he clarified it.
Still, Mulvaney's response created a cacophony of criticism. The Washington Post editorial page proclaimed it was proof the president's intent was corrupt, and his chief of staff confessed it. On Capitol Hill, the verdict was predictably mixed.
Mick had a moment of truth and then realized that that was not going to be good for the president and had to walk it back. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on there.
Well, I think Mick was very clear in cleaning up his statement that there was no quid pro quo.
The president's former defense secretary, Jim Mattis, had some pushback of his own to do after the president dubbed him the world's most overrated general this week. Mattis responded to the slight at the annual Alfred E. Smith charity dinner in New York.
Some of you were kind during the reception and asked me, if this bothered me to have been rated this way. Based on what Donald Trump said. I said, of course not. I earned my spurs on the battlefield, Martin, as you pointed out, and Donald Trump earned his spurs in a letter from a doctor.
Noting the president previously referred to Academy Award-winning actress Meryl Streep as being overrated, General Mattis suggested that makes him the Meryl Streep of generals. And he said that sounds pretty good to me. At the White House, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.